Hello! Welcome to another episode of Eat to Explore with Rowena. Today we're exploring Mexico, our neighbor. So let's see what's inside. Um, as always, we have a booklet to learn everything about the country, their landmark, their geography, music, language, history, their food culture, and then we now add some movie suggestions. Oh yeah, and in every box you have a fun tool, and this is actually an avocado slicer, um, movies to watch, books to read, and then as well as a Spotify playlist to listen everything about them from the country. Three recipes. We are obviously focused on like three quintessential Mexican dishes that you find in pretty much all Mexican restaurants. Fajitas, which is what we're going to do today. We're actually going to do a vegetarian fajita with mushroom instead of steak. So all the recipes, most of them have optional ingredients that you can actually make it meat or without meat. And then we have canitas, pork canitas, and then of course enchiladas. All the essential spices and sauces, and we have added the drink pairing, so it tells you a little bit about the drink culture, as well as cocktail, mocktail for that pairs very well with the food, as well as wine and beer pairing. So you make some margarita or paloma. You can make them cocktail or with alcohol or without alcohol. So enjoy, and shall we start? Okay, let's go through the vegetables. As I mentioned, I'm doing a vegan version. I'm doing the mushroom fajita. Of course, you can do steak or you can do chicken. And since we're doing vegetable fajita, what we have here are portobello mushrooms. Portobello mushroom it gets meaty, and so it's really, the texture is really great, kind of a little bit like steak. Then we got two avocado for the guac, bell pepper. I actually have some leftover onion, so we're gonna use the leftover onion because we don't need a lot. And then lime for the guacamole. Now I just went to the farmer's market and I got these beefsteak tomatoes, so I'm gonna use it. I won't be using whole tomato. I'm just gonna use half. All right. So shall we start? Oh yeah, actually before I forget, one more thing. Cilantro. So cilantro, I know we always get like a bunch of cilantro like this, and you kind of only use a few sprig. So the best way to store cilantro is to put them in a water, a cup, and then put a plastic bag over it and put them in the fridge. This will let it breathe and it will actually last the whole week. So this is the trick. Put your cilantro, your parsley, here mint or basil in water, and then put a plastic bag over it, and this will keep it fresh, and you can use it throughout the week. Okay, shall we start cooking? Okay, step number one, we are going to prep the vegetables. So I told you my leftover onion. This is more than enough. Red onion are really big, so you really, for this recipe, don't need a lot. You can just use whatever you left over, or use part of it and keep the rest for another dish. All right. So I always dice my onion this way, kind of keep it together and cut it into strips, and then cut them across, not all the way there. And now you got nice thin slices. So perfect. Put this here. And we're going to use this for the guac and also for the fajita. Okay. Now the leftover, I'm actually going to cut them into strips and then little dice. This together. Now you can use this for the not so even one, use that for the fajita. So the nicely diced red onion, you can use that for the guacamole. All right. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside. And next we are going to cut the bell pepper into strips. I have 2 bell pepper here. The way you cut it is cut them in half. Got my my compost bowl. Put this in my compost machine. Get rid of all the seeds. Okay. Okay. And then all you need is, you can even twist it and it come out easily. Okay. Get rid of the seed. Now we're just gonna cut them into strips. You know, it's fun to cook together and then get everyone to, like, one person dice the onion, one person cut the pepper, every vegetable just assigned to one person, and then next thing you know, all the prep was done. Very quick to cook. Fajita is one of those things that is super easy to make, very quick to make, and also really delicious. So I'm gonna cut this one, and then after that we will do the portobello. Like I mentioned, I'm doing a vegetarian one, so we're using portobello mushroom. Or if you want to do a meat one, you can do a chicken fajita or a beef fajita. And next I'm gonna cut the portobello mushroom. So this stem's already cut, so we don't need to do that, but you just slice them. This is a pretty big, really thick portobello. So what I might do is, I'm going to do is slice them into a thinner strip. So it's almost like this. Okay, like this. All right, so I'm gonna put this aside and cut all the other portobello mushroom too. Just stack it up and then slice them. It's like a 1/4 inch. Okay. Like a really thick portobello, all right? You can even do half-half, like do half meat, half vegetables. So it's kind of fun to mix it up. So then when you cook it, you know, everyone can try different flavors. Okay, so here's all the portobello mushroom. Now you can, if you're having meat, you would want to marinate the meat with salt, pepper, and also with the spices. Now you can actually do that here too, but I am actually gonna do the spices one when I'm sauteing. So you have the choices of marinate. I just feel like it's very hard to put the spices on the mushroom that is so big right now. So I will add the spices later. Okay, now we're gonna do cut the vegetables for the guacamole. Now I have a big bowl here, so instead of using all different bowls, I'm just gonna combine them into one. As I mentioned, I meant to only have a plum tomatoes, but instead I have a beefsteak tomato, fresh from the market. I'm gonna use it. So this is the best way to cut and dice tomatoes. Kind of similar to onion. So again, you slice them, use a serrated knife. So serrated knife is best when you cut tomato because you just kind of cut through the skin very quickly. So you slice it, thin slices, not all the way. It's kind of like I did it right to like maybe an inch, 1/4 of an inch from the end, and then just it stays together and intact. All right, so slice it through. And then I'll turn it around and cut it again. Turn it So now you get like really nice slices. Cut it across, right away. All right. All right, now you see. I have my tomatoes all cut, but it's still in one like a flower almost, right? So now you flip it sideways and you get a perfect dice. Look at that. So we're gonna add this in a bowl. You know, for guac, if you have more tomato, it's fine. So I'm gonna add more tomato to my guac. So since I have beef steak tomatoes. All right, so I'm gonna keep the rest for another time. This aside. And now I'm gonna add my avocado. Guac is so easy to make. It's just, as long as you have avocado, you have some tomato, definitely need cilantro, and definitely need lime and salt, pepper, and then there you go. So this is how you cut avocado. I can use my serrated knife too. See, just slice it across. Watch your fingers. Twist it. Okay, and then I like to slice them. You can scoop out the flesh, but I actually think that also you can actually do it this way, where you just cut them into slices, cross, and then just do it cross like this, and then you use a spoon to scoop up the flesh. Super easy. See? So scoop up the flesh. Very recycle. This actually is a small avocado. I'm gonna use 3 of them. Okay, so uh, you know, if you make extra guac, there will always be some chips that you can add it to, and so if you have extra avocado, why waste it and just make a nice batch of guacamole. Okay. So I actually bought a bag of 4 avocado, and they're not that big, so I might just use all of them. So again, make sure when you take out the seed, just be careful. So here's my just tomato and avocado. So next I'm going to squeeze my lime juice. So always kind of push it in a little bit, like loosen it, so it actually easier to get the juice out. Cut in half. You use half the juice in your, oh yeah, and use a lime rimmer. So this is a lime rimmer. It comes with a Ethiopian box, so I like this a lot. So you get a lot of juice out of it. All you need is just press it in and squeeze hard and kind of roll it around. Okay, and we'll use half in the fajita and half in the guacamole. Okay, all right. Now next we're gonna chop up some cilantro, which we're gonna put some as garnish for the fajita, and a lot going to the guacamole. All right, so let's start and cut out some cilantro. So, like I said, we don't need a lot. I'm actually gonna use half a bunch. So this is already rinsed. I'm gonna take this off. Take half. I'm gonna put my other half in my cup here, and then I'm gonna cover it for another time. There you go. All right, with cilantro, Even the stem, don't worry about it. It's edible, so I usually just like to cut it and then take out some of those that looks fresh, and then get rid of a little bit of the thicker stems with your finger. Just snap it off. And all the rest, you can just chop it. So roll it up. Okay. Rough chop doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to keep some as garnish and some is going into the half half. Also, don't be shy. You can also do more cilantro. It's delicious. So I'm going to put a lot going into that, and then we're going to keep the rest for garnish. One more thing to prep before I forget. I actually didn't get queso. I actually got a cheddar cheese. So I'm going to shred my cheddar cheese and add that when we serve. So I have this in my fridge, and so I'm using it. All right. So there you go. You don't need a lot. All right, let's cook. Okay, I have a cast iron skillet. I think this is always best for fajita. And so I'm heating it up. Olive oil. And then I am going to add, oh, actually forgot. I'm going to add some of the onion in the, so we're going to remember to keep half for the guacamole. Okay? So, put this in there. You want to cook the mushroom first and let it, with steak, same thing. Make sure you add the marinated steak in there. And then cook it first before you add the pepper, because the pepper will be pretty quick. So I am going to let this, I'm going to cook the onion and let it sweat for a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to add my mushroom gently and let it cook for a little bit. You want to cook it down on the mushroom. Steak will be a lot faster. So, and I'm actually going to put the spices in between. Like I said, with the steak, you want to marinate the steak with the meat, with the spices, the fajita spices that we provide. But if you're doing a steak, if you're doing mushroom, sorry, it's just hard to marinate, and I decided to put it on top. So, all right, so let this cook down. Put all the spices in. If you like, you can even cover it. I'm gonna cover it and let it cook down a little bit. Okay, see how much it has cooked down already, the mushroom? So you're gonna see some juice coming out. So take out the cover and let it cook. You can add the pepper and all right, turn it up, let it cook. So I'm actually gonna add some protein. So I decided to put a can of black beans. Put that into. That's the beauty about cooking. You can see what you have in your pantry and add it to. It's gonna be delicious. So I'm adding some black beans and let it cook a little bit. And I'm gonna add now my red pepper. Just cook down, and we're good to go. Put a bit of cilantro, and you can serve. It's delicious. So I already tasted. It's perfect. So mix it up, let it cook a little bit longer, and we are good to go. Okay. Okay, step 4, we're just finishing up the guac. I actually, as I shown on step 1, I just put them all in a bowl. So now we're adding the seasoning. So just salt, pepper, tajin, which we give it to you in a little sachet, but I do like to use mine. I have it in my pantry. A little bit of lime juice. If you have the pestle and mortar, just use that. But if you don't have it, a spoon and a bowl just serve the purpose. Okay, now taste it. Make sure it tastes good. Perfect. All right, this is done. Now we can serve. Okay, now it's almost done. I'm gonna finish off with my lime juice. And then the cilantro, I'm going to switch it off. Cilantro, and that's it. And we can serve. Look at that. All right. Okay, here you go. Dinner is served. You got your fajita here. And then we also have our guacamole. And then our tortilla. So I got some corn tortilla. So nice and warm. Put a bit of my yummy mushroom fajita, a little bit of guac, bit of cheese, and we are ready to go. Let's give it a try. Yummy. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed exploring Mexico and learning how to make fajita. We make the vegetarian version, which is with mushroom, slightly different, and it still tastes amazing. Today I'm going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to enjoy the final product on my boat. Summertime, I love to kind of spend some time with my husband on the boat. So we'll see you at and have my dinner on the al fresco. See you soon.